Soil should be moist, not wet, not dry. And when texturing the soil should be easily manipulated within your hand. Moist soil will not glisten in the sunlight. A dry soil sample will have a high value and lower chroma, and therein a misidentified color classification. Pioneers in the field of soil mechanics testing recognized early on that this predictable soil behavior would allow them to calculate the rate and amount of soil consolidation for a given load. In the early 1900s, a loading device to measure one-dimensional deformation of soil samples was already in use, of which the concept is still used today in soil consolidation testing. Gilson believes that good materials testing equipment design should include not only reliability and convenience, but also lab safety, which will only result in increased overall efficiency, production, and more importantly, worker protection. For example, the Gilson Silent Testing Screen, designed for a quieter and cleaner screening operation. The rugged housing is lined with sound attenuating material, and its sealed front doors and top lid keep noise and dust in check.
Remove the top of an egg carton to create your experiment cells. You now have 12 planting cells for your experiment. Fill each cell within the egg carton with potting soil. Now, press down a bit to compact or densify the soil. Add 5 to 10 milliliters of water to each cell to moisten the potting soil, unless the soil is already moist or wet from the delivery bag. Treat and label each cell accordingly. For cells 1 and 2, add 10 milliliters of vinegar in each of these 2 cells to acidify the soil.
Hey everyone, Greg with Gilson Tech Support, and Gilson will be at the Institute of Food Technologists show in New Orleans.
Gilson will be at booth 109, displaying and demonstrating some of our equipment designed for CBR testing, including our CBR mold and swell tripod, as well as this digital CBR component set and recently released data acquisition software.
I also suggest that you keep them stored in a room that is temperature controlled and well ventilated. This will keep the humidity low and will also prevent temperature fluctuations. If you have any other questions or want to have a question featured on Tech Tuesday, send me an email at technical@carolwarner.com.
Examine the O-rings and replace as necessary. Now reassemble the piston in base assembly. Make sure the piston is lubricated with hydraulic oil during this process, and insert both into the cylinder. And secure with the 3 roll pins. Slide the reassembled hydraulic cylinder onto the clamp rod. It is no surprise that this is by far the most common and most important test to be performed on an aggregate sample. Following ASTM and AASHTO test specifications, once the proportion of the individual fractions are determined and then plotted as a gradation curve, the values can then be qualitatively classified in aggregate terms like gap graded, open graded, and uniformly graded. This information can be used to adjust proportions of the fractions to manipulate qualities of the final mix design.